And it's my first day back in 2026, and I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas and New Year break. And we're starting off 2026 with a full suite of resolutions, i.e. we're going to be eating less, we're going to be drinking less, we're going to exercise more, and hopefully 2026 we're all going to be a little bit richer. Look, I've heard it all. But over the Christmas sort of New Year break, I had a pretty much an influx of new inquiries from new clients and existing clients to say, hey, I've got this job opportunity overseas. What do I actually have to do in order to change my residency to Australia? What are the things that I need to consider to become an expat for the very first time, and make sure that I'm moving abroad to be financially rewarding? So I'm starting 2026 with a bit of a mini series, and we're going to talk about what it actually takes to become an expat. So first of all, let's just touch on tax residency. Tax residency is that, fabulous word where, no one likes paying tax in Australia, apparently. So, and I've seen heaps of influencers over the past, 6 or 12 months being like, oh, I can't spend more than 183 days in Australia because then I'll have to pay tax in Australia. The 183-day test in Australia is only just one of the 4 tests that the ATO tests tax residency on. And so there's also the resides test and the domicile test. So if you fail, one of the other tests outside of the 183-day rule, then it's likely that the ATO will still determine you a tax residency. So when we're looking at our opportunities of becoming an expat for the very first time, it's really important to consider, right, what is the duration of my trip overseas? Is this going to be a short-term thing, or am I going to make this more of a permanent thing to really maximize that outcome? Everyone's going to have a different version of this. Everyone's got different family and social circles that are going to dictate how long they're going to be an expat for. But on the whole, what we need to look at first of all is our intentions. So we've got a job opportunity. Is it for at least 2 years? Are we going to go through a process of starting to cease our Australian tax residency and pick up tax residency in another jurisdiction? And what does that mean for your assets, your liabilities, your overall financial position here in Australia? We want to make sure that if you are planning on returning to Australia in future, that we're going abroad and making the most of our time abroad. So follow along for the next couple of weeks, and we're going to start talking about what it takes to become an expat.